So today we're taking on our first ever game in Europe, and it's against a side from Israel. So I don't think I've ever taken on a side in Israel in a while, not since last FM where I took charge of Örgryte and beat a side from Israel 9-1 at their ground. So yeah, I think this will be different somehow because Örgryte are pretty good. Örgryte's probably not to that level yet, but at least we've got something to work with, right? Hello, welcome everyone to JLABTV. I'm JLAB and this is Football Manager 2022, the Master Rebuilder save, and we are in a good position. We've had 7 league games since we last met, so let's go over those first and foremost. So the first game we had was at home against Norrköping, and we were behind inside 47 minutes after Fakir scored the opening goal. It was a bit annoying because I thought we could do better than this, but they did have a man sent off a few minutes later. But it took us until the 93rd minute of the game to equalise after Ludovic scored that goal. Just about okay, but really, we probably should have won this game given that they were down to 10 men for the last 40 minutes of the game. And it took us that long to get that equaliser, so maybe a lucky escape, maybe a very disappointing result. I'll leave that to you to decide. The next game we had was against Malmo, and we were without 3 of our best players in this game, so when they went in front inside 7 minutes, I was thinking, it's not to be surprising, it's to be expected. Then the second half, for whatever reason, we woke up. Bentel finds Delakovic, he finds Gustafsson of all people, because he's playing in the middle of the park as a midfielder, and he scores. Then Pentel scores a penalty inside 80 minutes, and somehow we've gone to Malmo and beaten them. This result made sure we were top of the table at the time. Yes, Malmo has slipped so much that we're now top of the table, and I couldn't quite believe it. So there we go. A shock situation for us. We've beaten Malmo and we're top just a year after we were promoted as champions of the second tier. Surely that couldn't continue, right? The next match we had was against Helsingborg, and 60 Molin actually gets an assist because he finds Bentel that long ball forward, and Bentel finds the top corner, the only goal of the game, and enough to get all 3 points, and we're winning again. We've got 7 points since we won the cup, and we're looking very good right now. I can't believe how well we've been doing. So of course, we come crashing down to earth as we take on our rivals, BK Hakin, who scored the opening goal after Tungsten scores the opening goal, 1-0 so 41 minutes, but we equalise a few minutes later. Ackerman with a delightful ball to find Bentel. He beats the keeper to the ball and scores 1-0 before half time. We're back on level terms. It's just a shame that we couldn't keep hold of the lead as, well, Jeff finds Melik, and Melik scores the winning goal of the game. They win by 2-1 to condemn us to our first defeat since we lost to AIK all that time ago. We then took on Sirius and drew 0-0. The league champions, despite doing everything we could do, held us to 0-0. Honestly, it was such an even game, I don't think I can even be upset. We just didn't do ourselves justice, and we should have done more, so I don't know. It's just a shame we didn't win the game when we knew we could have done. But even Stevens, it really wasn't the end of the world here. The next game we went to Hammarby, and they felt like a good team. Matko plays it in the middle, finds the Wixon, he gives them the lead inside 10 minutes, and then he doubles his tally for the day after he scores to make it 2-0 inside 42 minutes. Look, Wixon, a very annoying player to deal with, 2-0 at half time to Hammarby. So when we get the ball back and actually get our first true highlight of the game, I was thinking, okay, we can try something. Bentel then scores. Okay, 47 minutes in, 2 minutes second half, we're back on with a shout. I wasn't expecting to get another goal just 3 minutes later after Grandvis plays in the middle, finds Ludovic, and he finds Delakovic, and he scores 2-2, 50 minutes in. Okay, we have a chance to win this now. And then they scored in the 91st minute of the game after Matko does that. Yeah, I thought we could actually win this game, and then we just let our concentration slip towards the end and lose by 3-2. I feel like we were not great in the first half. Then we woke up in the second half of those 2 goals. And then even Steven, until that last goal, I genuinely thought if we'd not conceded, we would have been fine. It would be a good draw that we all deserved. But yeah, we lost 3-2 to Hammarby, and a team that I beat in a cup, but they feel like a good team, and I'm not shocked that they are beating us, really. So after 3 games without a win, we then hosted IK Gothenburg, and Delakovic gave us a perfect start inside 12 minutes to give us the lead for the penalty. Before we make it to Lortovec, places across, finds Bentel, 2-0 inside 30 minutes, a perfect start. And after 3 games without a win, we completely destroyed that fact by getting a third. Milan making it 3-0 with the header from the corner, and yeah, 7 games in. We went 3 games without winning at one point, but we're still looking good. 11 points from those 7 games. What's that done for us in the league? So, we're now down to 4th. We are 5 points behind Malmo, who we managed to beat, and I still can't believe we did it. We've beaten Djurgårdens, we've lost to AIK, we've lost to Häcken. So, only AIK, Häcken, Hammarby, and Sirius have managed to take points from us in the top half. So, I like to think that despite only being in 4th place, we still have a chance to get 2nd, because we're only 1 point behind Djurgårdens, and legitimately, I'm not sure if I'm in a relegation fight anymore. I think that really top half has to be the aim now, at the bare minimum, and we're looking good. But our opponents for today in the Europa League, in one of 3 matches, I'm going to try and do both Europa Conference League qualifying matches as well as a match against AIK. But we have Hapoel Be'er Sheva. Hapoel Be'er Sheva. If I'm saying this wrong, I apologize now. But aside from Israel, I know we can win, but it's about making sure we do win. Apparently, because I didn't know this league, I am probably thinking we can win because they have no manager and all that stuff. So I got no real data on them. And apart from this guy, who's their key player, if we don't beat this team, I would feel slightly annoyed because he's also suspended. So apparently that's their key player. This is their captain. He's in goal. I like to think we can beat this team. Yeah, it's also in their pre-season, so we're in the middle of our season. This is their pre-season. I almost regret not loading up the Israeli leagues, but it is what it is. Yeah, we've got an opportunity to win, I think, here, and that's a good opportunity right now. We have officially made our signings, though, of Fredrik Hove, who isn't amazing, but I'm going to try and keep him as a centre midfielder, Mazzala, because I think he can play the role quite nicely. He needs work, but honestly, he's only 17. But I think that Hove can definitely improve after joining us from Nordsjælland for a free transfer. We can send out on loan next year when he turns 18, so he can get some more first in football. But hey, we're okay, we're looking good, and it's a good, decent signing. We've also officially signed Storm now. I'm going to play him on the right-hand side as an inverted winger. He can play on the left as well, but I want him as the inverted winger. And yeah, think you can see why I want him there. He's 26. He's a good player for this division, and he's on cheap wages. So really, if I'm not using this guy, I don't know what else I'm going to say with this situation, but he likes to run with the ball down the left, which is a bit awkward. But he rides late in opposition's area, so he could be an absolute nuisance. We've already shown the opponents. We do actually know who our opponents will be in the next round if we get there. So let's actually go over that as well while we're here. So if we get through to the next round by being this team, we'll have either Olympic, Ljubljana, or Gibraltar Lions. If Gibraltar Lions manage to win, it's a massive shock. So I'm expecting Olympic Ljubljana to win that. So I would not be shocked if we get tired of the Slovenian team if we get through. I am a bit terrified because I saw PSV in this competition still already, and that's a scary sight. Longest standing Liège and Celtic. So, I am not expecting to go that far. We don't know when this will be drawn on the 4th of August. So, once we've managed to potentially go through to the next round of the Europa Conference League, we'll find out who we get in the 4th quarterfinal round if we get through that. And there's also Atalanta and Wolfsburg. I am not expecting to go through. I'm going to be blunt. That's also assuming the highest rated teams will get through. I like to think we'll get through them and we'll be able to shock a lot of people. But, look at the teams that we could be facing. Atalanta, PSV, Galatasaray, Celtic, Wolfsburg, Stade Rennais, Fenerbahce, Universitaire, Crevio, Everton, Lask, Rosenborg, Lecce, Bilbao, Osijek and Utrecht. That could be a horrible situation to be in if we get through to that stage. But the board actually wants us to get to the fourth qualifying round. So I'm half expecting to fail that. I'm going to be blunt. And I'm also thinking after the season is done, I might be starting to look for another club. Because I think, given that we've rebuilt this club to be as good as it is, we've done a good job here. Obviously, I'm not looking at the Juventus job and thinking I can get that job. Because that's silly. I wouldn't want to try that. But in the meantime, we are going to take on our opponents today. And we're going to try and win. Because I know we can win. Because we're pretty good. Just a thought that I need to get another left back though. We do have injuries to worry about though. Soderstrom out for another 1 to 3 days because of the gash lower leg. Lavac's gotten injured again. He's now got to worry about a damaged spine. I don't know what he was doing, but apparently he fell over and he damaged his spine. And he's now still out for 5 to 8 weeks. I want him for my first team, for goodness sake. Can he stop getting injured soon? So the starting lineup will be this. Monin in goal. Oscar Burr, who's now apparently the highest average rate, the highest average roll ability, which is interesting. We've got Milan and Sangri and Grenves in defense. We've got Vetatesic, Ackerman, Bjorkris, Storm, Miskovic and Bentel starting. And we also have the likes of, actually we're going to have Lutovec starting instead of Storm. We have Marcelo Petaluga, Eriksson, Sikkerson, Nassar, Storm, Selkovic and Justin on the bench. Hopefully this will be good enough. I've not registered some players for the Europa League because I don't think we have enough. I do at least have enough people to utilise for this squad, but hey, it's better than nothing. Either way, let's see how we do. Aberdeen already tune up in their game, so College Europa are not going to give them much of a fire at all. We've got Hull inside 6 minutes. And I generally think we can win this game. If we don't win this, then it will be slightly awkward. But Vesa Tesnik gets the ball back and finds Miskovic. Now, my signings are starting to really embed themselves. And the fact we're fighting for a top 4, top 2 finish in our league is remarkable, given we've only just been promoted. But we get the ball back. Here's Lutovec. And Bjorkris can play through Miskovic. What can he do? Lutovec out wide to Rasmussen. Rasmussen can play in the middle. Has done. And Miskovic scores his first of the season. His first ever goal for us. And it's taken us 7 minutes to score. If we win this game by a big scoreline, like 5 or 6-0, I won't do the second leg. I would just be the only game we'll do. But we need to win by a big scoreline to prove that we don't need to worry about this next game. But hey, 1-up inside 7 minutes. Looking good. I am starting to think we could actually destroy this team. Like, I know I said I beat this really team 9-1 in the Champions League qualifiers with Ludogorets, but even so, that's a different team. That's a much better team than I think what I have here. So if I win this game by a big scoreline, I would be a bit surprised. But Bjorkris, it's not the best pass. I know what he's trying to do. It just wasn't placed very well, and they're going to try and get the ball back, but we get the ball. What they need to stop doing, and this is something I've noticed, whenever a team's losing, they just start pumping the ball forward. And for some reason, when it's not your day, you know it's not your day. And that is a wonderful goal from Robert Miskovic. That, I think, if we do get a lot of goals, we're definitely not going to do the next 2 games afterwards, which I genuinely believe we can be very, very good. This might be a bit of a whitewash if we actually destroy this team. We're definitely going to do just the 1 game if we destroy this team by a big scoreline. Okay, so Ludovic on the middle. Bentel makes it 3. 23 goals he's got already. And I signed him for what? 13 grand? 14.5 grand? What a big signing. He's been well off the signing now. We're 3-0 up inside 37 minutes. If we win by 5 or 6-0, we're definitely going to lose the second leg. We've got another free kick. Bjorkris. Milan's hit the bar or the post. I couldn't have asked for a better half. I really couldn't have done. Okay, so we actually got a free kick. Ackerman's been booked as well. His Bjorkris has done a free kick. And Milan has actually scored this time. It's not offside. We are fine. Milan has actually scored now. It's 4-0. we are destroying this team. We've made some changes too, because I feel like I can actually rotate my team now. I could start resting my players now, and that's ridiculous. Oh, where it's his injury. I've literally just brought him on. He's got injured through a knee injury, so he must have just had it. But, oh, that is not ideal for me. We win 4-0, but Ericsson got injured, and then Ludovic actually picked up a knock as well. So Storm might be getting game time sooner rather than later, and I didn't think that would be the case. But 4-0, I don't think I'm going to do the second game. I've decided this to be a one-game video now. We've actually destroyed our opponents, and it was a very good victory. They only had 2 shots, and there were none on target. So I think if we don't win the next game, it would be a shocker. It really would be. And Miskovic has proven why I've decided to play him today. I think he's my first choice now. He really is. Oh, I also started to make some signs as well. I'm trying to get some Swedish players in to help with the matchday stuff. So that's a thing. Ericsson sprained his knee ligament. He's out for 5 to 6 weeks after sprinting. Literally, I brought him on from the bench and he gets injured. And Ludovic's out to 1 to 3 days because of a tight groin. That's not terrible. I genuinely thought it would be worse than that. But yeah, Miskovic getting 2 goals here is really useful. So I've actually agreed to sign Kevin Ackerman at the end of his contract because he was available and his contract expires in the next couple of months. I kind of pounced and I said, okay, I kind of want him. Mauer didn't go for him. So yeah, we've got Ackerman already signing for us now, next season, permanently. And we've also got Bjorkquist signing for us permanently after his loan spell ends. So we've made 2 big signings in midfield. So I think midfield, we're sorted out for the time being in both domestic competition and European competitions. I'm also trying to sign August Allen as another backup because he's better than the other 2 backups and he can actually be played and registered because, well, we need players who are homegrown in Sweden so I don't have to worry about not actually being able to put a fully fit bench. So it is slightly awkward when I say that, but there you go. Yeah, apparently this guy only wants 450, yeah, £500 a week. We can work with that. 2-year deal. He's a backup. It's perfect. But what we're going to do, though, is actually end this here. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It does help me a lot. I thought I was going to do both games, but then I realized how much we destroyed our opponents, and I thought, you know what, we don't need to worry about the second leg. We should be through. We'll find out who is in our next team afterwards, regardless, because, well, we should be going for the third qualifying round anyway, but you never know. Either way, until next time, goodbye, and well, good night.